Hello YouTube and welcome back one and all to part 25 of 30 of our 30 band Royal Rumble extravaganza. That means, ladies and gentlemen, we are now 5/6 of our way through this battle royale, and there's only 5 more entrants left to go. So you know what we got to do, ladies and gentlemen? We got to keep going. The show must go on. It must always go on. So we're about to see number 25 on his way. So if everybody's ready at home, we can start the countdown. So in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and activate.
On the stellar sea, but in little stars. We all bring the tonight beauty, which is worth the hunting. We've come to join you. Hope revive for a lifetime to rekindle the human spark in love with the night. Stellar sea, cut in little stars.
When he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with the night and pay no worship to the garish sun.
You know, just for the few lines where we did get to hear Marco's voice, it's a testament to just how much everything works into its own whenever it comes to Nightwish. And it's not just because it's not just about Floor, it's not just about Marco, it's not just about Thomas, it's not just about it's not about even Johan Kirkler, who did the reading of the extract of Romeo and Juliet. It's not just about Troy. It's not just about Kai. It's not just about Marco, Empu, and it's a lot of those people, but it's how it all comes together. And I reckon Mr. Shoemaker, I hope that's how it's pronounced. Like, I'm pretty sure that Mr. Eugene Shoemaker, this would have been and guys, first off, ladies and gentlemen, that was Shoemaker by Nightwish. But let's just move on very, very quickly for 1 second. This was about a man who I never heard about before today. This is about a man, what did they describe him as? A genealogist by the name of Eugene Shoemaker. I believe a genealogist is somebody who discovers about one of the founders of the planetary science. This is about a story in which he was tragically killed in '97 whilst in Australia, and purely based on just because of how wonderful Nightwish are, they wrote an entire song about. In fact, of the few songs that I've done of human nature so far, that would be Noise, Ad Astra, How's the Heart, and I think it was one about the environment as well, where I described it was like filmed in maybe fields in, let's say, Mayo or Kildare or somewhere in Ireland, basically. When you bring everything together, I think I know exactly how I could best describe Shoemaker in one. It's about, imagine being so great a human being where you get described as a sailor through aeons. You are a pioneer. One of the founding figures that could have inspired somebody's field of science. Somebody that you could revolutionize somebody's life by being. Think about, ladies and gentlemen, think about this. Think about some of the great heroes of your life. People you've not only admire, people you aspire to be. Think about all of those people. Because I'm pretty sure Shoemaker must have been, maybe Thomas or Marco or Empu, one of those guys must have been a fan of Mr. Eugene's work, because if you guys already know, Human Nature is a very pro-environment song. A very pro-environmental album. But what I think is very curious about Shoemaker is that pro-nature, that's just one half. Human nature. And when you begin to sit back and just look at this wonderful view of the universe, of the Earth, the stars, the galaxies itself, you could almost say that one of the great aspects of humans is curiosity to explore among the stars. Just like maybe Eugene is a very good example of this. Maybe he was a sailor, somebody who explored, like a astronomist version of Captain Cook, you might want to say. He explored the stars. He rekindled the human spark. He didn't just take it, steal it for the Earth. He looked after it. He took care of it. We all wait with the June night, beauty which is worth the hurting. We're coming to join you. I love this part where Nightwish, Floor, I should say, talks about wanting to join in Eugene's work. They want to discover about what Eugene stood for, and that he is a role model like no other. Because one of the great things that I also just saw briefly at the corner of my eye is that his ashes are apparently on the moon as we speak. Let me just see what it is. Over 2 years later after his death, on the 31st of July 1999, some of his ashes were carried to the moon with the Lunar Prospector mission. Imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. H.G. Wells has an entire crater on the moon named after him, and maybe that's where Mr. Shoemaker's ashes are lying. That's just... having your ashes on the moon, having a crater on the moon named after you. Could you imagine maybe even just getting a whole planet named after you? It would be a legacy in itself. But in fact, you know what? I just after all these months of being absent from Floor's voice, Floor's voice is something akin to, I want to say, part Catherine Beaumont, part Susan Boyle, and part... Oh god, how... What's a really... In fact, you know what? I think I'm just going to leave it there. I think that's the two best comparisons I could make to Floor's voice. Part Catherine Beaumont, part Susan Boyle. I could have possibly said Dame Vera Lynn, but Vera Lynn does not hit... Well, maybe she does, but the high notes that Floor can hit... Oh my god, you could freaking touch the moon with notes that high. So I'm just gonna... Eugene Merle Shoemaker. April 28th, 1928 to July 18th, 1997. So that would have made him 69 years old. Wow. The comet hit Jupiter in 1994. The impact was televised. In fact, is this true? Eugene Shoemaker, the only human buried on the moon. Wow, they couldn't even put Lance Neil Armstrong's ashes on the moon, or maybe they'll do something for maybe Buzz Aldrin, but no, they could. Eugene gets the that privilege. He trained astronauts and founded a new science. Founding a new science, ladies and gentlemen. Could you imagine what on earth would happen? Like, what if I founded a science? Would you be taken seriously? Would people think you were somewhat clever or anything like that? What on earth? Imagine a legacy like that. That is one of the... I've done like songs about numerous people throughout history, but that's a first. A first for this channel. Eugene Gene Shoemaker was one of the 20th century's great minds. His work on impact craters affected everything from NASA's Apollo missions to the dinosaur extinction debate. From his contributions to human knowledge, he was awarded the National Medal of Science by then President George H.W. Bush in 1992. A different honour eluded him. Shoemaker studied the moon from afar, but he often dreamed of climbing into a spacesuit and walking on its surface. Sadly, he never got the chance. Addison's disease crushed his hopes of becoming an astronaut. And in 1997, some of his ashes were laid to rest near the moon's southern pole. That made him the first and to date the only person to ever receive a lunar burial. It was a poignant epilogue to the man's career. Shoemaker was a geologist by training, and craters were one of his great passions. Shoemaker helped confirm that the famous 570-foot deep, 173-meter Barringer crater near Flagstaff, Arizona, was made up by an asteroid impact. He also championed the hypothesis that another such impact killed the last known avian dinosaurs 66 million years ago. And by mapping some of the craters on our moon, he revolutionized our understanding of its geology. In 1961, the United States Geological Survey set up the Astrological Research Program. Shoemaker, often considered the founding father of astrology, was chosen to lead it. NASA enlisted his... I'm sorry that I may not have time to necessarily go over everything here, but God help, good Lord, ladies and gentlemen, a man with an extraordinary career, an extraordinary legacy, an extraordinary science in itself. And what better way to be tributed than having Nightwish play for you? It's one of perhaps the greatest of all tributes you could have possibly have given. And my absolute favourite part about Shoemaker was when you probably may have guessed it, was when Floor Jansen herself broke into Latin with Laudato Si ad Astra. And hearing her break away in... I want to listen... I want to know how many songs there are that Floor Jansen has done where she breaks into different languages. Because, ladies and gentlemen, some of you may already know, but the Flower Duet is just about one of the greatest things I've ever heard in my life. You want to know what it takes to make a man like me cry? For men like me to have a breakdown? Disposable Heroes and the Flower Duet. But this is... You may not be able to see them, ladies and gentlemen, but these are happy tears. These make me happy in the knowledge that this was meant to be inspiring. This is meant to be uplifting. It wasn't made to make people feel sad. It was made to make people look up to the heavens and dreaming of one day being so high in the highest heavens that one day somebody will do this for you. Words cannot even begin to describe what that must be like. And I just want to do one final thing here. Floor Jansen, the first thing she says is, Shoemaker is not about a man making shoes. And she talks a little bit more about Eugene Shoemaker. In fact, I'll tell you what, to end this properly, let's do one of two things. Shoemaker is not about a man making shoes. It is about Eugene Shoemaker. I can totally recommend you to Google him. He was a very remarkable and beautiful story that inspired Thomas to write a song about him. It is a very irregular song. No, not by Nightwish's standards. That is absolutely not out of the... It's not out of the bloom for Thomas to do this sort of thing. So it doesn't have a very typical structure. It was very tricky to sing. Oh, really? The complexity in the melodies and the verses were really wild, tricky for me. It was probably challenged. It was properly challenged. And towards the end, when he goes up into the stars, there is an operatic part. Oh, I felt that. Nailing this was a challenge as it needed the right balance. It took a while, a lot of takes, but then it became one of my personal highlights for the album. Hope you all enjoy it. And just like everything else you possibly might expect from any Nightwish comment section, just look at this. For me, the question of the best female vocalist is closed. The definitions of floorgasm, oh yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree with them more. Seems like no one is talking about the drumming. Kai really does flex his insane skills here. True. Couldn't agree more. Top-notch stuff. More scientists needs tributes like these. We all need this. And 400 flat earth believers. Because this 438 dislikes from this compared to 23,000 upvotes. Yeah, you're going to be very hard pressed to find people who really do dislike this. Or if they do dislike it and want to voice their opinions, you straight up know that it's going to not end badly. not end well on their part. But you know what? Just to, we're going to end this video probably because you know what? I'm going to leave a comment myself. And if you guys know of the tragedy of what happened, of a very certain particular woman who left this earth just over a fortnight ago, let me, I'll make sure to make this as meaningful as I can. If you guys want to check out this comment for yourself, actually I'll just voice it while I'm talking. Okay, I just decided to keep the comment very short but to the point. Anne highly recommended this. At least now I can see what she meant. Not just about the song, but the heart. Not just about the song, but the very heart and soul. Well, I gotta say this, you know what, Anne, if you're watching this, goodness knows where you're watching this now, I hope this was, at the very least, adequate. If I've given off anything remotely close to the wrong impression, feel free to let me know. Get in touch with me, you know, any which way you can, or anyone else, and I'll make sure to correct it. Well, I guess that's that. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this reaction video. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys thought of Shoemaker by Nightwish. Please also make sure to also like and subscribe so get daily notifications when my videos come out. And I hope to love you guys again in the next reaction video. Take care. Bye-bye for now.